We're going to talk about advisory.
Okay.
Do you think advisory needs any improvements?
Yes. I believe we need to cater better to each grade level. Well, from what I've seen to this point, I think some of the things that we do are not necessarily the most beneficial for the kids in our groups. I also feel like we need to establish more of a connection. We only meet with these kids for about once a week for who knows how many weeks. And if advisory is going to be successful, we need to build better relationships with those students and have the time and have the ability to do activities that establish those relationships.
What are some cons about advisory?
I think the frequency of it. I see once a week. I've talked to other teachers that some of their advisory kids, they don't even really know their names at this point. So I think that there needs to be a better established connection, and that doesn't get done with some of the activities that we do. And again, I think that some of the activities are a bit redundant. I believe in goal setting. However, in the half of a semester that we've done advisory, I would dare to say 50% to 75% of our advisory meetings have been on goal setting. So,
what are some pros about advisory?
I think it's a good concept of trying to build a relationship between students and teachers. I think that that's one of the greatest things that can be accomplished in this school is having teachers be more than just an educator in their area of expertise, but also to be able to use some of their life experience to help kids that come and see them on a weekly basis.
Do you like advisory?
I think it has its benefits, but I also think that it needs a lot of improvement in order to be as well conceived by everyone.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's talk about advisory. Do you think advisory needs any improvement?
Yes.
Like what?
Like, they need more things about our school because all they do is talk about, like, dumb stuff that, like, no one really cares about.
What are some cons about advisory?
It's like a waste of time. Like, you don't really do anything in that class.
What are some pros about it?
Some things are, like, helpful, but not a lot.
Do you like advisory?
No.
No? Okay, thank you.
Do you think advisory needs any improvements?
I like advisory. I like the idea of giving students an opportunity to be connected to a group of students and a teacher over years, after year after year. I think with anything new, there's going to be bumps and bruises and highs and lows. I think teachers need to make it personal and students need to become invested in it. I think that's the best thing that can happen to advisory.
What are some cons about advisory?
I think the fact that it's once a week, sometimes it's an afterthought for teachers and students. That would probably be a con, but that's something we can fix.
What are some pros?
Pros, I think it's a time for kids to decompress a little bit, get to know other students, discuss issues that there's maybe not time for in a regular academic schedule.
Do you like advisory?
I do like advisory. I'm trying to like it more. I'll like it more if I get a little bit better at it and feel more comfortable with it, but I do like it for the most part, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We're going to talk about advisory.
Okay.
Do you think that advisory needs any improvement?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind going to it because, like, we don't really do anything. But if we did do stuff, like, I'd appreciate, like, being able to do homework at least in there.
Okay. What are some cons about advisory?
We don't do anything. Like, I hear from, like, all sorts of other kids that in their advisory class they're doing something totally different than what we're doing. So it's like, what's the point if it's not, like, beneficial, it's not, like, effective.
What are some pros about advisory?
I just get to sit in there, basically.
Do you
I don't know, we were making posters and I got to use glitter, so
Do you like advisory?
not really. Well, I get to see some of my friends in there that I don't have in other classes. Like, that's the only time I can see them, so that's the only reason why.
Thank you.
I definitely think that advisory needs improvements. I don't think that students are buying into it because I don't think that most of our teachers are buying into it.
What are some cons about advisory?
We only see our kids once a week. The lesson plans don't come out early enough, so we don't have time to plan. And I think another con of it is that we have some teachers that don't believe that advisory good and some teachers that do believe advisory is good. So we have some inconsistencies.
What are some pros about advisory?
I appreciate advisory because I get to mentor kids on a different level. It's a different relationship than teaching. So I appreciate that.
Do you like advisory?
I personally do like advisory because I think it's a better or a different mentorship relationship which students need outside of the classroom.
We're going to talk about advisory. Do you think advisory needs any improvements?
No. No. I mean, yeah. Actually, yeah. Because they're very boring. I mean, not because of like how my teachers speak, but like, you know, they make us do too many things.
Okay. What are some cons about advisory? Like bad things?
I know. I think some bad things about advisory is that they just talk about the school too much, you know? That's annoying. I mean, I get that's the point or something, but no, I'm not down for that.
What are some pros about advisory?
I guess it's good to keep up, to see how students feel about this school. That's all I can say.
Do you like advisory?
No.
No? Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.